Welcome to Vintage Gaming Memories. Shall we play a game?
1204.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and thanks for checking out this video. Let's get right into this one. So I've got this probably about 2 weeks ago, and I haven't yet opened it up, as you can tell. And its model name by Panasonic was called the Tele-Time. Panasonic was known to have these creative model names for their products. I guess it's kind of eye-catching and probably a good marketing ploy. But as you already know by the title, this is a 1971 Panasonic RC-6900 AM and FM clock radio that talks. This would be considered the world's first talking clock radio, and the talking is only for the time. So it's limited, but granted, 1971, you can actually hear a voice tell you the time of day. And all you have to do is an on-demand action, which would be pressing a button that's on top of this, and it would tell you the time. Now, the only problem with this particular one is that it was sold as no sound, but you could hear it try to read the platter or the record that produces the voice for the time. And now that's a common thing I've read before with others, so maybe there's a workaround. Maybe we may get lucky and get this to work again. But until we figure what we need to do, let's first open this up and see what we find. Well, here it is. You can kind of get a good view of it. We'll go around and look at everything. But being that this is over 50 years old, and the way this thing works is truly mechanical, it's bound to have some issues. Now, I've seen a few of these advertised over probably 10 to 15 years ago with similar issues of the voice part not working. So it would be an amazing find for a fully working one. Either way, let's test everything else and see where we go from here. So here is the top where I mentioned that you would press down for the on-demand sound of the time. And then you have a on and off button for an hour call. I'm guessing that it would play top of the hour. It would say it every hour if it was on. On the side here, not too bad condition-wise. We got some ports. One of them is labeled as a remote call, and the other one is a pillow speaker, I believe. And what they used to do was have a speaker you can plug in to that port and then put it by your pillow, and you can listen to this music while you sleep. And I believe the remote call one would be a button that would just emulate the same thing as this, pressing it for the time. So that's pretty neat. On the other side, there's nothing but scratches. There's probably a label here, it looks like, but don't know. We'll get all this cleaned up. And then on the front, we have a few things to look at. I'm glad that Panasonic badge is still there, which is nice. A lot of these you will find this missing. The plastic itself isn't too bad, condition-wise. You have your volume control here, your tone, high and low settings. Then you have your AM and FM selector. And then you get your tuning right here. As you can see, the dial move on the stations to select from. Over here, you have your sleep control and your time set. Let's see if I can show you that. You can see the hands moving there. And on this side here, you have options from either a call, auto, on or off. Let's look at the back side here. So in the back here, we have some things to look at. First and most important is this big knob. This knob here is the way you set the current time in the front. Basically, you press in and turn counterclockwise, and then you can adjust for the current time. Below that, you have two terminals for the external antenna. And then to the left of that is a call volume knob. And this is basically the knob that will adjust the control volume of the voice that announces the time. To the left of that, there are two jacks. One is for an external speaker, and the other one is the remote call jack. So that basically is the same jack that we saw earlier on the left side, but they give you another location option to have it plugged into back here. And then of course we have the power cord. And then on the bottom, not much to look at there, but it's all intact. What I'm going to do is a complete cleaning and polish this all up and then come right back to test it all out. In 3, 2, 1. All right, it did come out pretty well, I have to say. The polishing itself on the plastic looked pretty good at the end, and the cleaning of all the dust and dirt and grime off the cord came out nice. That was pretty caked on there for many years. And then what else did I do? Well, the knobs, they came out really nice. So all these knobs come right off of the stem that they're on, as well as these, and I just put them in nice warm soapy water with a plastic brush and clean between the grooves so they're nice and clean, and then polished it as well because there's some plastic around here. And of course this cover is plastic, so that came out really good. There's no scratches really seen on there. The only scratches I really couldn't get out were the side scratches here on the metal, but I tried to polish it pretty nicely. It looked pretty good. Got rid of that sticker on the side, at least the gunk that was underneath it. So we're all ready to go and test this. And like I said, I know for a fact that the sound was an issue, or at least noted on the listing. It's a really good looking device, so I'm happy I have this. But let's really test out the functionality and see what we have. So I'm going to probably have to dim the lights a little bit after I plug this in, because it might be hard to see. But what I really want to make sure is this knob is on off, which it is. There's 4 settings. Again, off, on, auto, or call. We want it on off. And then we'll plug it in and turn this thing on to on. All right, so I have it plugged in, and you can see it's illuminated here, the nice little ring. It says touch and call, and the clock should be moving, which it is. You can see the second hand moving here, coming down right now from the 4 o'clock position. So what we'll do next is I'm going to turn this to on. And there we go. We have the radio. Looks like it's lit up. Let's see if I can get a station tuned in. I'm on AM, so hopefully I get something. I can hear some stations trying to be tuned in here. So it's working, obviously.
I'll save you up to 75% on over 500,000.
So it works. I just need the external antenna connected in the back, and I can probably get some FM stations, but so far so good. So let's try the touch and call with the radio on. Let's see if it stops the radio sound while I push it.
9, 10.
That's pretty cool. I heard it said 9:10. I'm not sure if you caught that. Let me see if I can do that again and maybe pick it up closer to the camera so you can hear it. So let's check this out.
9, 11.
9:11. Pretty good. So we do have sound. Now on the back, I don't know what that volume is set to for the voice to speak the time. So maybe that needs to be tuned up a little bit higher. So let's try that first. So let me adjust that. So I just had a quick pause there to get the light on so I can see where that knob was for the adjustment on the call volume. And it was already turned to the far right. So it's the loudest it could be. Let's see what else. Let's try a different time. Let me push the knob in the back and adjust the time. And we'll change it to, I don't know, let's make it top of the hour, I guess. Let's see what it says.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. pretty good. So now I'm on the auto selector on the front. Let's see what happens. I hear it moving, but no sound. Let's go to call. And nothing. So you can only hear it when it's on the radio mode, and it cuts the station sound off and it goes to the actual time.
9:00.
That's not good, but hey, it does work. It just probably needs to be some adjustments inside. So let's open this up. All right, so I have the 4 screws removed, which are located right here. And I believe I should be able to slide this thing right off. There we go. And maybe lift it up once I can clear the back here. Okay. Here we go. This is a pretty nice view of what we're looking at. Now here's the light bulb, which I know works because, of course, illuminated. Maybe I'll clean the green cover underneath there. It's a little bit dusty. I'm probably going to clean the head on this anyways. Here's the speakers on the side here. So let me turn this to the radio mode.
"9:03.
That was a lot louder than before. That was pretty nice. That sounded really clear. Let's hear that one more time.
9:03.
Let's change the time a little bit here and see how the other tracks sound. And you can see as I'm adjusting the clock, it's actually turning that media there where it plays the different sounds for the time. We'll try this one.
9:12.
Wow, that sounds great. That's pretty cool how that arm just moves. And it's this arm, when it moves, it's really reading that media. And it does look just like a floppy, but it's not a floppy. Yeah, there's a lot of groove lines I could see on that outer ring, whereas the inner ring has less. Okay. Let's see what time we're in now. We should be in at 10 o'clock.
10:16.
There's that platter, or the media that it spins on to read. And it doesn't look like it's ripped up or warped like I've seen many others. So that's a good sign. So I think this is a good view. You can see the actual media that's being read for the hours and minutes. And then you can see the grooves in here. So I'm guessing each one of these little grooves represents the minutes on the outer side of this media platter, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. And then the inner one is probably the hours. And of course, here's the head that goes and reads it and comes back. Let's run this again.
10:22.
That's pretty loud. Pretty amazing. Sounds awesome. I don't know what the issue is when it does go into the call or auto mode, but you can definitely hear it trying to work. Let's try this one more time. So now I am in auto. It should be playing it. So there's something wrong with it when it's in that mode versus the on mode. This is the call mode here. And no sound. Only on the on setting do you get sound.
10:24.
Probably just clean up a little bit before I wrap it up. Check the bulbs as well, because I did see one on top and I thought there was one or two maybe in the inside here. We'll have to take a look. Can't tell in this view. Let me just lean it over. Oh yeah, I see a couple bulbs inside and they're lit, so that's good. I think this is a fully working system. It's just that the sound itself isn't coming when it's auto or on call, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to. All right, before I put the cover back on, I'm going to check this belt on the side just to make certain it's not warped, which I think it looks good. And then I'll clean the head, and then I'll test it one last time to see if it sounds just as loud and clear as it did a minute ago. So I went ahead and cleaned the inside and put the screws back in the back, closed it up. To be honest, the insides were very clean. So either I was lucky and this wasn't really used much, or that seal on the top is perfect because there was no dust inside there. Very little, really, and I cleaned it pretty thorough. So I'm happy to see that. Now you can see the green ring here, and you know it's plugged in. So let's put this to the on position, because that's the only way we can hear the time. And let me touch and call, and let's hear it.
12:04.
So how cool is that? I mean, you're hearing a voice of a woman from over 50 years ago tell you the time of day, and on demand on top of that. Whenever you want to know what time it is, to the minute, it'll tell you. And I think that's a pretty cool concept. And it's really cool to know that that media, or that magnetic media that's inside here, works perfectly. Now, I did try various times throughout the day, like I've done at different hours here and there in different minutes, and it sounds consistently the same. There's no garbling sound from her voice. It's clear, concise, so that's great to know. That means that media is in great condition. I still need to do some research as to what that mode for auto and call is, because it doesn't seem to play any audio for that, but when it's on, it works fine. I still think this is some amazing technology from over 50 years ago. Considering, yeah, it's a clock that talks, but you can look at the clock, right? And you can see what time it is, but not really. Think about it. And you're laying in your bed some night and you're wondering, what time is it? Do I need to get up now? And you want to go ahead and find out. Well, you just press the button if you have it connected to the remote on here, the remote call that is, and it would actually speak to you what time it is. I mean, yeah, today and nowadays we have our smartphones and smart devices and Alexa that you can just speak in the air and they'll tell you what time, what's the weather, what's the forecast, and so on. But think back, 1971, 50 plus years ago, and they had something like this. It's cutting edge from Panasonic. Let me know what you all think about this. Did you ever see this before? Do you own one of these? Did you own one of these? What do y'all think? I'm kind of curious to hear. Again, this is the 1971 Panasonic RC-6900 AM and FM talking clock radio, otherwise known as Tele-Time. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, keep that gaming passion from the past alive by living it today. Take care, everyone.
12:12.